Hello Pouring Nation, today we are going to look at Floetrol as a pouring medium. Now Floetrol is a latex based paint conditioner, and what a paint conditioner is when you paint with a brush, if you put the Floetrol in, usually at 1 part Floetrol to 3-4 parts paint, you paint with the brush, the Floetrol helps it flatten out. So for paint pouring, that's perfect. That's what we want. We want the paint to all even out and be nice and beautiful. So the other nice thing about Floetrol is you can buy it in a hardware store. It's about $15 per gallon, and that makes it about 12 cents per ounce, which is the cheapest of the 12 pouring mediums that we reviewed, which I will put a link in the description above. As a pouring medium for beginners, Floetrol is perfect. It mixes really well. This is 1 part paint to one part pouring medium with a little bit of water, and it mixes up even the blues that I've had a hard time with some of the other pouring mediums. It mixes great. Mixes quickly, doesn't usually leave bumps. The Floetrol dries matte. So here's the pour that I did with the pouring medium review, and as you can see, it's a pretty matte. There's a little bit of oil there, which makes it a tiny bit shiny, but it's a pretty matte pouring medium when it dries. So if you want to do blacks or something that really has that light sucking texture, it's a great pouring medium to use. If you want it to be more shiny, you'll either have to add a little bit of some other pouring medium, or you can just put a top coat on, which will make it look beautiful. So with the pouring medium reviews, I gave a 5-star rating for mix, dry, color, cost. And for the Floetrol, because it's 12 cents an ounce, gets a 5 for the cost. Mixing, again, it's really easy to mix. It has a nice consistency. It's a slight bit thicker than some. And again, this is a little bit of water. So we'll show you right here. So the texture that I like to use with Floetrol is a little bit thinner than the glue. So it's not a mound on a mound. It's just it creates a quick mound and then immediately goes away. Or if you do this, it lasts for a second and then goes away. So for mixing, the Floetrol gets a 4. So we're gonna do a quick dirty pour flip cup and show you how the colors look. Now these colors look a little bit muted because this is the Master's Touch Ultramarine Blue with some white, because I wanted kind of a pastel-y color. This is the Simply Acrylic Brilliant Red with a little white. It's about 1 part red, 2 parts white. And then this is a mixture of both colors, so I know that they go together, and then this is just the white. So really quickly, we're just going to take now I use these, and this one's not going to be big enough, I use these silicone cups that I purchased so I don't have to throw away so many cups. And so if you want to look at getting those, I'll link them to the description below. Now one thing that I did with the Floetrol is you definitely want to filter the Floetrol. If you do not filter the Floetrol, see these little pieces on the end here? These end up inside, the sides of the Floetrol kind of dries over time, and then it falls in and it makes little pieces that are inside. So you always want to filter your Floetrol. Now some people take a little bit of pantyhose and put it right on top and just pour through the pantyhose. You know, they just put a rubber band around it to hold it in, and they pour through the pantyhose. I have this little tea filter or coffee filter. I would almost say get one that's a little bit more like this in the size rather than these big ones that I have here, more like this smaller size, because there are some pieces that come out a little bit small. So that's one detractor to the Floetrol. You do need to filter when you use it. So again, we're just going to do a dirty pour. So I'm going to put my white here first. I think I want to go purple next. And I want it to sit on top, not to flow right through, so I'm just kind of going slowly One other thing I like about these cups is I can just let them dry and then pull the paint out. Maybe use a little scrub brush and some water, and that way I'm not wasting as much plastic on the plastic cups. So this is an 8x10 canvas. 8x10, just quick math, if you 8x10 is 80 square inches, add the sides is another 18, so 96 square inches. Divide that by 25, and as a beginner, that's a great place to start with the amount of paint that you need. Now as I'm doing this, I've decided I don't want to do a flip cup dirty pour, I'm just going to do a straight pour. So 96 square inches divided by 4 means I need about 4 ounces of paint. I have a little bit more just because I wouldn't have enough to do anything else, so I'm just going to use what I have here. And we're going to do kind of a traveling tree ring. Start here. Get a little bit of this excess paint in the corners. So now as you can see, I have all these little tiny bubbles popping up. That is definitely one great benefit of this pouring medium. It creates small bubbles all by itself. I'm going to torch a little to get the air bubbles out. And because this is the side I want to get off first, I'm going to tilt here, I'm going to tilt here, I'm going to tilt here, and then I'm going to tilt all of that off. So another thing I found with Floetrol is when you paint with Floetrol, especially with the white, I'm using the Artist Loft Flow Acrylic, and it's not really a strong white, so you get this kind of shadowy look with the whites, and sometimes the edges get a little bit shadowy. See right here, you can kind of see through the white. In this case, I really like that because it's kind of pastel and I want it to kind of flow together. But depending on what you think of pouring mediums, that might be something that you may or may not want. So I haven't had any problems mixing Floetrol with many other pouring mediums. So I don't think there should be a problem there. If you want to get a little brighter look, you can use some Liquitex or GAC or even glue to kind of give it a more glossy texture when it's finished. But as you can see, this is a great pouring medium. I get some nice lines here. My pouring medium was a little bit wetter than normal because I wanted it to kind of flow together. I get some good color quality. We're going to torch one more time really quickly. And I get a lot of these little teeny tiny bubbles or cells. And more of them will form as time goes. But with that white, I gave it a little bit extra heat because I wanted to get this little bubbles popping along there. You see I was a little bit close right here, made those tiny bubbles. So Floetrol dries because it's a little bit matte and most people don't like that. I give it an average score of 3. Color It actually holds its color quite well. It's not as vibrant as Liquitex or GAC or even the Artist Loft pouring medium. So I only give it a 3 there. But combined score, that makes it a 3.8 out of 5, which puts it in a tie for Glue All and Artist Loft as the third best pouring medium that I tested. Definitely, if you're beginning, use Floetrol because it's cheaper, because it works well, it mixes well, it's easy to clean off your hands like latex paint is. It's not really sticky like like some of the other pouring mediums are. Great paint for a beginner pouring artist.